I now call Neil Bibby to be followed by Gill Patterson.
This is undoubtedly the most controversial part of the bill, and one that has to be properly debated and discussed, as we have done at some length on the Labour benches. There are, of course, strong feelings about this. There are some that believe this measure is absolutely necessary to identifying and protecting vulnerable children, and there are those who believe that this is not required and potentially could interfere in family life. As I have said before, in principle, I have no objection to putting a named person provision in the bill. But equally, like everyone, I would hope, I do not believe it is the state's role or job to bring up all children. I would welcome reassurances from the Minister to the concerns raised by parents over recent weeks. Like many colleagues, I want to see the best possible protection and support system for our children. However, critically, there are two key tests for the named person provision. The system has to work in practice, and this system needs to be properly resourced. And I believe the Minister and the Government have completely failed to address these two key concerns. Labour can't support all of the amendments in this group, but we will be fully supporting Liz Smith's amendments on reducing the age limit for children to have a named person from 18 to 16, as we did at stage 2. As Liz Smith said earlier, when Bill Alexander, the Director of Health and Social Care at Highland Council, gave evidence to the committee, I was extremely concerned when he questioned why a named person would be needed for most children who have left school. He said, I do not understand how my daughter, who is 17 and doing performing arts in Manchester, could have a named person. She will not need one nor want one. There is no doubt that some young people require additional support after leaving school, but the vast majority of young people will neither need nor want a named person. Members will know that Highland Council was the national pathfinder for implementing GIRFEC, and as a result, Bill Alexander is a highly respected person in this chamber. During the Stage 1 debate, a member said, Bill Alexander knows more about this subject than anybody else, and I have found what he says to be true. That member was the Cabinet Secretary, Mike Russell. Therefore, it is astonishing if the Scottish Government are going to proceed without listening to people such as Bill Alexander and opposition parties when they raise such issues. The second issue I want to raise is the issue of resources. My position is the same as the child protection charity, the NSPCC, who have said we support the intention behind the named person approach, which, if properly resourced, could increase the likelihood of early intervention for children and young people, thus improving their outcomes. The key phrase here is if properly resourced. During the Stage 1 debate, I raised on behalf of the Royal College of Nursing their evidence about the resourcing issues. The RCN said, using the Scottish Government's own estimate of health visiting hours required to deliver the named person role specifically, on top of the rest of the health visiting workload, the RCN estimates it would necessitate around an additional 450 health visitors to be recruited and trained. This was raised at Stage 1. The Minister said she was listening, but no action. This was raised at Stage 2. The Minister said she was listening, but no action. You have an opportunity to finish it. Okay, on you go.
Minister.
I wonder whether he had a chance to read what Edinburgh City Council said. The Council believes that the cost and any savings for children's rights, GIRFEC, early learning childcare and other proposals are accurately reflected based on our understanding of the requirements of legislation. Does he not agree with Edinburgh City Council, and does he not agree that we've been listening to others to make sure that the estimates in our financial memorandum are absolutely the best that they can be to finance this absolutely thoroughly?
Neil Bibby.
Minister, with respect, you'll listen to whoever you want to listen to. You say you're listening, but you're not hearing the concerns of the RCN. This was raised at Stage 1, Stage 2. If you are serious about this policy, where are those extra health visitors? This is not to mention the resources required by local authorities and teachers to meet their named person responsibilities and providing training on an ongoing basis, not just a one-off. It's also still not clear how the named person role will be properly resourced and work during 12 weeks of school holidays. No wonder then the Finance Committee in its damning report on this bill said the committee has a number of concerns in relation to some of the costings within this financial memorandum and notes there is a lack of evidence to support the figures provided for some aspects of the bill. We believe the Scottish Government have failed to address the resource issues properly, and this is a policy that will not achieve its intended purpose unless it is. To be blunt, the Minister has said consistently that she has listened, but I don't think she has been hearing. She has not listened to opposition parties, to people like Bill Alexander and organisations such as the RCN. I, like many other members, can support the policy in principle, but I believe the Minister and the Scottish Government have failed the two key tests on addressing the practical and resource issues failed. And by failing those key tests, the Scottish Government risk failing Scotland's children.
Thank you. I call